Welcome everybody, I'm J.R. Ellis, and today I wanted to show off a little bit about what's coming up with Whitestrake's Mayhem, which would be probably July, maybe early August 2025, and what you can expect from these kind of mysterious Bag of Veterans glory. You go to the event ticket merchant, and maybe you've already got your pieces for your pets and your morphables, and you don't really find much else to spend on, and then you see this Bag of Veterans glory, and before you get in over your head, because the tooltips aren't very helpful on this, it's just like, no longer available through any other means. I wanted to go through what is in these, and I went on a template character to be sure I could actually buy these fresh, because on my main I actually know everything that's in these already, so I went on this other character to be able to open up 96 of these, or 96 rewards in these, so it'd be good to know what's in them before you kind of start into it. So because these are curated, so what you already have you won't get, and you can knock out a lot of the easier to get things just by even going around the guild traders and finding out what's currently cheap and available. So one thing that's new this time is they did add Dovah's dual style pages to these. They are also currently dropping with this next cycle, so you definitely want to get those before you spend any event tickets on these. And so let me just kind of go ahead and show off what is in here, and then I'll provide a link to a list and preview a bunch of these as well. So here is what is in these, aside from a couple of collectibles that just add directly to your collections, which would be the Warpaints. There's a face and body Warpaint, as well as some scars, some battle scars, and then also some Banner Emotes. So there are a couple of room boxes. You can still get the tradable versions of the room boxes on the guild traders, but otherwise these are about the easiest way to get these. So if you have extra event tickets, you can kind of work through these. So let me show off some of these. I kind of have like a hefty male character here. Let me show them off here, and then let me go on to a maybe a more average female character as well, and kind of show these off. So big list of these, and then also I do have a list over on my website at spicyeconomics.com. You can see a link here that lists out all of these, including the room boxes, and some of these are definitely going to be better just like going over to the guild traders, and like here's links to TTC, so it's easy to find and price compare these. You can definitely see that these are kind of like cheap on the guild traders, relatively speaking, and then some of them are going to be kind of like mid-ranged. It's kind of like, it would make sense to kind of compare this to the event ticket cost, because they cost 2 event tickets per pop, and would it be better just to try to find somebody to gift you a whole slew of event tickets to try to buy these versus just getting the ones on the guild traders? So the ones that definitely make the most sense to get before you open any of the boxes, because they are curated, would definitely be the Dovah's Duel, Gloamsedge, probably House Dufort Banneret, Sancre Tour. There's 17 of those because it's all the weapons and the armor, so it's kind of a lot of the Sancre Tour pages. That's kind of, there's a lot of them. There are a lot of Tools of Domination are pretty cheap right now still. And then some of them are kind of like on the fence about whether they'd be better to buy from the guild traders before you start into it, or maybe just kind of get lucky. Would be like the Legion Zero Vigiles pages are kind of mid-range rare. And then a lot of the other ones, like Ebonsteel, are really expensive on the traders, and then Whitestrake, Clanwrap, kind of like mid-range, but the Jerkin is very popular and more expensive. So let me go ahead and preview these, and then I'll just kind of do them in sets, and have my, maybe not the best model for this, but that's okay. So there's Whitestrake, Clanwrap, one of the few styles that has like an open chest piece. And then we'll be able to see the shield and staff. Now, I am on a character that doesn't have ESO+, so these are all going to be the default dies, though almost all of these, including the faction ones, do have die channels, so you can make that gold if you wanted to. And so there's the shield and the staff. Here's the Dominion one, very bright. You can show off some faction pride or kind of be a saboteur. And then here's Dovah's Duel. Bit more fierce. Wait, shield. Oh, I guess I'll keep that out. Here's Ebonsteel, probably the rarest set in the game currently. And then here is Gloamsedge. And House Dufort Banneret. Do like the plume on that one. And then you'll notice that some of these are going to be heavy, and some of them are going to be light, and some of them are going to be medium. So naming conventions might matter if you're looking on the guild traders. Now, Legion Zero Vigiles does have the breeches that kind of ride up. They tend to each have unique headpieces, especially. And here is the EP shield and the staff. Do you like the dragon on that? I have my EP pride here. And then lots of Sancre pages. Let me try to look at the 7 body pieces first. That's the entirety of the Sancre armor. Very austere looking face on that one. And then the weapons are going to be a little bit all over the place. Let's have a kind of an Imperial red diamond feel into it. A lot of the Mayhem stuff does. Lots of times, the weapons on the guild traders tend to go for a little bit less than the armor pieces. Only really need like one weapon usually. Lots of weapon styles to choose from anymore. Okay, and then we'll go to 2nd Legion. And Tools Domination is only weapons. They have this kind of flatter, kind of like jade look to them. Some of these have been very commonly sourced throughout the years, but they do get more and more rare on the guild traders as the years roll on. They do tend to add more styles with each. They've been doing Mayhem about twice a year, and they tend to add more every time. Okay, and so that is all the styles, and then there are going to be a couple of the things that just get added directly to your collections that were otherwise previously available via room boxes, and those are going to be the Whitestrake face Warpaint and the body Warpaint, and then some scars. They have the battle scarred body. You can kind of see the smudgies. They kind of go all the way up your chest and down your leg, as well as the Visage, with some kind of pockmarky and lines on your face. And then the other 3 are the emotes. So we have the Banner Emotes. They all look the same except for their different colors. So here's Aldmary with the yellow. And I like to either like hoist a flag to kind of show off your faction pride, or if I ever see somebody from a different faction, I often will raise a banner to kind of signal that I like come in peace and please don't kill me, I'm just doing quests. And that tends to be pretty effective. And so that's all of the rewards from there. Maybe there'll be something that you like. I'm going to hop over onto a different character to go and show off what they look like. At least the armor on a different model might be a bit more representative. Well, welcome back. I popped onto a brand new character just to show off what these look like on a different model. And let's kind of show off at least the armor here for Whitestrake Clanwrap. It looks a little bit better on the female model. And here's Dovah Duel. Again, I would definitely get these. They are dropping again this go around, so they're going to be really cheap on the guild traders. I definitely would buy those all. Get all 7 of them before you get any of them from the event ticket grab bags. Be kind of a waste of valuable event tickets. Here's Ebonsteel. These are kind of like the prime picks from the event ticket grab bags. You could potentially curate it until you only just get these. Here's Gloamsedge, another one of the cheaper ones that's currently available. And here is House Dufort Banneret. Again, these are all just all the default colors. They would mostly have different dye channels. Some parts would be dyeable, some parts wouldn't be. And you can mix and match these because they're not costumes or anything. And just a few more. Oh, I feel like I missed one. What did I miss? Weird helmet. There you go. Okay, this has like the most basic pants in the game. This one also has sandals. Aren't a lot of things that have open toes. Okay, so a little bit of everything. Hopefully that helps you kind of sort out what you like or what you kind of can use the list for to make sure that you get the cheap ones so that you can get the more valuable ones curated so you can get what you're aiming for. And if you're only looking for specific things, hopefully you get lucky with how it works. Again, there are 96 of them, and the tooltips are lacking, so I'm just hoping that this can help clarify, and good luck to you, and happy fighting with Mayhem. Stay spicy, keep a moo in your heart. Moo.